Hello, good afternoon, everyone out there. Trust you're having a wonderful afternoon. We're so delighted to be here today, and I'm sure you are as well. So nice to be on this show. For those who do not know about this show, this You Lead show, and is being hosted every Tuesday by 2 p.m. So we're so delighted to be here today, and we have a wonderful, wonderful session. We will be having a super session today. Last week was amazing. Weeks ago we were amazing, and today is going to be exceptional because we have a very wonderful guest in the house who has a lot of experience in mentoring and teaching young people. So we won't waste much of our time because today is loaded. There's so much we're going to learn from our guest in the studio today. So if you know what is good for you, kindly go in, get your pen, get your notepad, get your jotter, get your phone, whatever you know you can use to jot down things because this is not a session that you're going to use only your brain. You need something to fall back to as time go by. So thank you so much, and we have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people in the house today. You already know them, but I won't introduce them to you. I'll allow them to say something to you. Favor, Igwe, can you say something to the people?
Hi, good afternoon. It's another beautiful Tuesday, and I'm glad to be here.
Oh. Okay, I have Oscar. I do call him man from the east. So can you greet the people, Oscar?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And you know what time it is? It's the You Lead show.
Thank you very much, my wonderful colleagues. And let me quickly introduce our guest in the house today. Please just pick up your pen because as I'm mentioning our experiences, it is cool that you write them down for reference purposes. So we have our wonderful Mrs. Grace FM Ibo in the house today. Let me just read briefly her profile before she say hi to all of us. I think she just wants to say hi first. So, Ma, can you say hi to the people?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to be here.
Thank you very much, Ma. For those who are at the youth hub, I'm sure, in fact, if you're in the university setting, you will definitely recognize that voice. So, Madam Grace has about 18 years of extensive experience. Grace Ibo emerges as a seasoned professional within the domains of development and public health, possessing a Master of Public Health degree and certification as a knowledge manager. Our expertise is finely honed in the strategic design, meticulous implementation, and successful execution of multifaceted development initiatives. Our approach is characterized by adept collaboration with diverse stakeholders spanning both local and international spheres. Championing the ethos of societal betterment, Grace ardently fosters community engagement and equitable access to vital health and social services. She demonstrates prowess in resource mobilization, adeptly orchestrating fundraising endeavors, and judiciously managing allocated resources to address the needs of marginalized populations. Furthermore, she is committed to nurturing the growth and advancement of emerging talent, actively supporting young individuals' personal and professional development trajectories. She holds the pivotal role of Deputy Director within the Office of Strategic Fund Management and Alumni Affairs at the University of Calabar, where she plays an instrumental role in fostering the institution's growth and prosperity. With a standing ovation wherever you are, let's give an accolade and a clap to our wonderful mama. I do call her mama and other young people out there. Do call her mama because of the impactful things that she had done, in the university and in the society at large. So, Ma, we welcome you once again.
Thank you. It's really feel good to be here.
Thank you very much. Like today, our topic of discussion is leadership and portfolio building. Recently she was being made, is it the director of career services?
Head, head of career.
Head of career services. Sorry, head of career services. And it's been a wonderful moment, ever since she got that recognition and appointment, because she's someone that's passionate about young people. And over the years, over 18 years now, she has been pushing young people forward, ensuring that young leaders gain access to opportunities that are necessary for them. So, Mer, my first question today is, how do you see leadership? How do you define leadership? From your own perception, from your own standpoint, what does leadership mean to you?
Okay, from my standpoint, leadership is an act, and I want to emphasize the word act. Um, in other words, leadership is all about action. So, any action that a person given an opportunity takes to enable others in the same, let's say, in the same group, or others who share the same goal and objectives achieve their goal. So that action that you take as a person within your group, within any given group, to enhance the attainment of the set goals of that group makes you a leader. So, in a way, that separates leadership from being in a position of authority. So, some people get to positions of authority maybe by virtue of maybe the number of years they have spent in a particular establishment or in a particular area, but end up not leading.
Yes,
Yeah, so that's the key thing I want to emphasize today, that you don't need to be in that position of authority to be a leader. So you might be one of the youngest or one of the lowest cadre of staff in a particular group, but the actions you take every day to provide support to the group and ensure that everybody is working together to achieve the set goals now make you the leader, because naturally everybody now begins to look up to you to say, this person is not around. If he was around, we would have been able to sort out. That's the whole essence of leadership. So it's important that if we are in positions of authority, we recognize leadership as an act. So beyond my position, what am I doing as the head to make other people want to follow me, to make other people want to stick to the rules of engagement and do what they need to do for us to have that collective goal achieved.
Awesome, awesome. Oh my. It's beyond just being in the position, but taking action to ensure that the group where you find yourself achieve their aims and objective. That's awesome. So leadership is not all about the position. Now, Mama had been able to, separate personal leadership from positional leadership, meaning that wherever you find yourself, irrespective of the role you play, you should serve as a leader, not based on the position, but because you are in that environment. So you have to act. You have to take action, deliberate action at all point in time. Thank you so much, Mara. So how important is self-leadership in building an effective portfolio? Because now we're talking about portfolio, and we've seen that a lot of young people are so passionate about doing things. So passionate, and they lack the understanding of building a relevant or something that they can present in the future to gain bigger opportunity. But before then, we would like to understand what a portfolio means and how important self leadership is in building portfolio?
Okay, so the common quote would say you cannot give what you don't
The
have,
have.
right? So you cannot be a leader when you yourself cannot lead yourself.
Mm.
You cannot be disciplined enough to understand the things that you need to get done to be responsible, in short. So when it comes to portfolio, that's why at the Career Services Center we've introduced the Portfolio Thursday, where we help students and our alumni community that sign up to understand how to build their portfolio in preparation for any job opportunity or any call for vacancy call that may pop up. So for me, I look at a portfolio like a basket that a person drops all of their engagement in the phase of self-development. So all the engagements, all your encounters as you grow to become that which you want to be, that growth doesn't happen in a day. So it's a process. So portfolio is that basket that you keep dropping the things you have achieved, the things that you have done. For me, at the point where you are developing your portfolio, I'm looking at it as developing your growth, documenting your growth process across different sectors. So some people will wait, like I will finish school, go for NYSC, then I will start applying for job with my certificate. And so you will find yourself spending a longer period in the labor market without getting what you want. But if you look at portfolio as a documentation of your growth process, then you are going to be intentional about what it is you want to
Mm.
document. Do you want to just document going for lectures and passing exams as a student, or you want to document that you went to lectures, you passed exam which gave you a particular grade or a class of degree, and aside that, you were able to do one, two, three, five things, activities, participation and other trainings while you were on campus. That's the documentation process. So like Zabi is saying that a lot of young people now, because of the influence and awareness we get through social media platforms, are able to be linked up to a lot of programs they volunteer for. But most of them just go because they are going to give me a t-shirt, I'm going to have fun, we will dance, and then we'll
Mm.
come back. But the people that planned that program had the understanding that these young people are agents of change. So engaging them in this kind of program builds a kind of community awareness where through peer education they are able to reach out to other people. So they have that, they have documented, but you as a young person, what have you documented in your engagement?
Mm.
That's what portfolio building helps you to do. Okay, so today I attended program Z. This was the goal of the program. This was my contribution to the program. And after the program, this is how I have scaled up the effect or the impact of that program, and these are the results. So that is a process you document in your portfolio. At the end of the day, you will see that you have a date, you have the event name, you have who
Mm.
who was responsible for the event and the role that you
You
played.
played.
That is documented. So on daily basis, you go out for different things. As a young person, you were not going out because it was your course of study. You were going out because this thing is going to change something in the community, or this
Mm.
thing is going to have effect, or even I'm going to learn something. So when you now understand that that portfolio that you need will not come at the end of your school. You begin to now be intentional about searching which ones align to
Yes,
the
ma'am.
career. Yes,
Mm.
which one do I prefer? If there are three coming up this holiday, how many do I want to do? Where do I want to be? Because I need to put something in my portfolio. So the portfolio platform or that portfolio basket, if you understand it, makes you very intentional about engaging or meaningful engagement in some kinds of activities depending on where you want to find yourself 5, 10 years from now. So while you are in school, you have already had a lot of things in your portfolio, a lot of, whether is this program, whether it's a literacy program or a career program or a leadership program, whatever. But you have well documented how and what happened. This now makes it possible for you to see openings, job openings,
Mm.
and you just scan through your basket or your
Your
portfolio to say,
portfolio.
oh, they need this. Yes, this is, I got this experience here. They need this skill. Oh, I got this skill when I attended this training. You don't need to look for, oh, what was the date of the training? Hey, I need a referee. Who is going to give me the reference? Because you had documented it
Long
long
time ago.
ago.
Yeah.
So it will be a very big, robust book, if you call it. If it's a Word document, wherever you're putting, whatever, it will be a very big basket. So by the time you are leaving University of Calabar, for instance, you have all of these things in your portfolio, plus your certificate, and you are good to go. So there's nobody that will say, hey, experience, all of those 5 years experience, you spent 5 years in Unica plus strike 7 years, you should have up to 7, because there are people who come to campus to say, students, come and participate in this,
Mm.
come and do this. So if they are asking for experience, and very importantly, every program you participate in, don't look at just what you gained.
Mm.
You have to look at how you
You
transform
transformed.
the
Yeah.
knowledge gained to something that speaks to your portfolio. So when
Mm.
they say, but this was just a one-off program, you say, no, it was a one-off program for them, but for me, this was how I was able to enhance the impact of that program. That's a summary of what a portfolio is all about. It's not your CV. So you will not be looking at, I want to apply for maybe a communication job. So everything has to be directed to communication. So what if there's no communication job? So your portfolio helps you to document a lot of skills, a lot of assets that you have as a person in the job space. So anyone that comes, you just check where it matches, and if you have done things that are related to those things,
Mm.
then you are able to now pick those ones out to make a CV or a
Mm.
resume for
Mm.
that
For that.
position.
Awesome. Favor, over to you.
All right. I'm sure if you've been looking at me, you know that I'm keenly interested in this topic. Right. So public health is something I find really interesting. I was supposed to study, but however, I'm doing radiography. Oh, right. And I feel that a lot of us are doing a lot, but do not have good knowledge of how to harmonize and get it together to call it portfolio. Like you said, some of us have attended a good number of events, even have been in part of the planning or even volunteered at some point or the other, but there is no record. Some of us don't even understand how vital this will be in the coming years, and even when we know that it may be vital, we don't know how to get to use it effectively. So I don't know if you could throw more light on how you could effectively document, make use of this thing so that you are not putting effort that will never count tomorrow because you are too scalar, you're putting it everywhere. Like someone that is, like you said, it's not a CV that you have to say, okay, I'm doing radiography, all my effort should be in this point. So I can be doing radiography and I'm venturing into other things and it's part of my portfolio. But how do I harmonize it someday, maybe as a radiographer? How do I use my knowledge or what I've built in my portfolio to enhance my occupation or profession as a radiographer?
Okay, thank you very much. So, in the career services portfolio Thursday, I actually developed a template for young people to use in the documentation. So, I will try to just check with everybody what your template should look like, because like we said, yes, it's not a CV, not at all. So it's going to have a mixture of different things. But you see, if you check any job application, you will see that it will be asking for your educational qualification, it will be asking
Mm.
for certifications,
Yes.
it will be asking for skill sets, and it will now ask for
Experience.
experience. Those are the key things for any job at all that are very key. One is your core educational qualification. That's the one we now say, okay, BSc and masters,
Masters, yeah.
PhD, and all of that. Then they will now ask for additional certifications. So there are some jobs that requires beyond your bachelor's, your BSc, BEd, and so on. They require some very core things like Zabi was reading about me. I had to pay hugely for to get a certified knowledge management certificate from KMI USA, for
Yes.
instance. The reason is that beyond everything that I have learned, I needed to now specialize on how I am able to manage knowledge
Knowledge.
for any organization to meet international best practices. So that's why organizations and employers will ask for certifications. So you will see people now trying to get certifications in the area of IT,
Mm.
information technology
Technology.
and use. We see people trying to get certification in program management. It's because the certifications are very tailored, they are very narrowed specifically to what skill set the person require. So your BSc is very broad, you did a lot of things, but this job, you are going to be doing this. So and they need that core certification. So that's why they ask for certifications. Then they will now, like I said, they will now also ask for your experience.
Experience.
Experience. That's where it used to come. The longer the experience, the more better chances that you have at getting a shot at the job. And then they will now ask for skill sets. Skill sets. So that's where some people will now go and maybe nobody is interested in your hobbies. So it's never important to an employer because it's not the hobby you are coming to do at the workplace. So it's the skill. What skill do you have? So some people will now begin to talk about, oh, I have very good communication skills. Like
Yeah.
now you are here, you are in Unica Radio. I know you have you have not recorded it anywhere that used to support Unica Radio. This is the amount of time, the hours I put in Unica Radio. And when I want to talk about my communication as a skill that I have, I should be able to reference Unica
In the cover
Radio
video.
and say while I was a student, I did 200 hours. I gave Unica Radio 200 hours, and there I was able to use effective communication skills to reach an audience of over 1 million over a 3-year period. Now you are talking about skill. Looking at your CV, and I want to give a job, I will go give am to OAP. And some this person have been doing this. It means this person can talk, can communicate to people, oh, can be good customer service. So radiography, yeah, it's not the radiography I'm interested I'm interested in the fact that this person have given these hours to, hey, and the person, they are asking you for reference.
Reference.
Now they are asking you for reference. It's not a radiography job that you studied, it's a communication job. So you will not meet your doctor to give you reference. They are going to collect reference from where?
Unical
Unical
radio.
radio. That brings me to what's your question. So what should your portfolio have now that you don't even know the job you want to apply for, but you are just doing things as a Gen Z that you are, and with the correct vibe and energy, you are just doing things, doing. So in all this doing, you should have a book, whether it's soft copy or a
Hard
hard
copy.
copy, that is well ruled. I need it to have lines, because you want to keep it, we'll say kiss it, keep it short and
And
what? And
simple.
simple. So you want it that simple. So you will have a table that have title of act. Maybe you start with serial
Serial
number,
number.
so that every month you will check whether you have done 5 activities
Activities.
or you have done 10 engagements. So you should start with a serial number, then you go to title of activity or program,
Program. Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, but that title of activity. Then you go to the next column and create dates or period, because
Yeah.
some can be long. So if you know that, oh, it's going to be more, you put the start date, then
Yeah. The
whenever
finish
it
dates.
ends, you
Yeah.
just add it. So period is better than dates, right? Yeah. So you now put venue and slash location, venue slash location.
Location.
So it might be something in the field or and all of that. So it's good to have that location. And then the organization, or the institution or whatever
About.
that owns that program that you are involved with, then the contact person. Now when you are writing the contact person, you need to keep the details of the contact person, because you don't know the year and
Yeah.
the time, and the email is the most important, because people may lose their phone numbers, but they will still have their
Email.
email. And for formal writing and reaching out to referees, it's always likely through email. So when you have the name of the contact person, you should have the position of that person, so that at that time, even if
Mm.
the person had left that
Now.
organization,
Yeah.
when you are emailing, you are saying on so so date, this period, this location, you were the program manager for this organization, and I worked with you as this. I need
A
a
reference.
reference.
Mm.
So you are not giving the person, it's not after 10 years you will be, hey, who was the project manager? Hey, is that tall guy? Oh, where can he be now? That's what we find ourselves doing. Then after the contact person, now it now comes back to the where we
Mm.
now have to gather what experience, what
Experience.
skill. So I would like you to have um your role. So were you a participant? Were you whatever role that you were given? You should be able to describe the role
Mm.
in that place. So um, then after the role, you can have skills and skills or lessons learned from that role. Whether you are a participant, you learn something. So you should document the
The
lessons and the
lessons.
skill. Then the last thing can be what will I call it? I want us to describe like um post activity
Activity.
impact.
Okay.
Post activity impact. We should call it post activity impact. So that if it is a training, after you receive the training, then
What
what?
next? Yeah.
If it's not all that you will have post activity impact, but it's good to have the post activity impact, because on the day you will be preparing your CV, it makes life very very easy. Under this role, between this period and this period, I was able to, it is your
Mm.
post activity impact that you are going to document. Dot one, I was able to do this. The next, I was able to do this. Then later, when it comes to the skill, where in your CV you have skill, you will now write
Mm.
communication. Under this project, I did this. You will not just write communication and leave it there. You must at least one line
Mm.
of how they can find evidence of that your communication. And even when you are writing experience, I worked from this. So if that is the job area you want to pick from, you already have your details. So I encourage every young person to have this table. It can be posted by your bed. When one is filled, you carry it and file it.
Yes, ma'am.
You keep filing. You never can tell. As you keep filing, you once, maybe on a weekend, you go through all and give yourself a pat on the back and say, I have tried. Why? Because you're trying to kind of document everything in your brain too, just in case you are passing by Facebook and you saw one opening. You say, this. No, I have all of this in my portfolio. Let me go and put together a CV. Are you seeing? So that's what portfolio is all about. I talk to a lot of young people, and some people will say they feel like they wasted their years in university. The world has gone past the time when you finish university and NYSC, a job will be
We'll be
waiting
waiting.
for you
Yeah.
somewhere. Now there's nothing like that. That is why, and there are age limits for a lot
A
of
lot of
jobs.
jobs. Yeah.
So many youth focused jobs, as soon as, and fellowships, as soon as you are above 35, you are off.
You're off.
There are other ones, as soon as you are 24, you are off. So when do you want to gather the experience? If you don't have a portfolio, when do you want to go and represent youth in UN, World Economic Forum, and all of those places? Are you waiting for the time that you will graduate, when you may, or
Mm.
some people will be over 24, depending on what you are doing. So portfolio is all about documenting your progress, your developmental progress, and just putting those things there until an opportunity comes where you want to pick up some of those things to prepare a CV that is suitable for a particular job opening.
All right. Thank you so much, ma. I'm sorry, Life, you might not ask any other questions at the end of the show. All right.
Interesting.
Okay, so I was going to ask if we could file or use our journals, but I think you already answered that.
Yeah.
So I would want you to draw a finite line, an obvious line between the CV and the portfolio, and then still explain again where they come
Okay.
together.
Okay, so
Sorry, ma. Before you continue, ma, I think there are one or two persons that would like to join us.
okay.
So you could join us via 09069880789. 09069880789. We would want to hear your voice in this conversation. Thank you, ma. Over to you.
Okay, so drawing a finite line between portfolio and CV, most times it depends on the industry. Some industries want to know
Everything
everything
you've
that you have
done.
ever done. So if they ask you for a portfolio, you give them everything you have ever done, because it's everything about you. If you are asked for, that's why industries rarely ask for portfolio. They'll
Mm,
ask you for a
a
CV
CV.
or a resume. So CV is more structured, and it shouldn't be. No matter what you have done, it shouldn't be more than 3 4 pages.
Three,
Even
yeah.
four is in, maybe in
Professional,
academic
yes.
community, yeah, that they want to see all your publications and all of that. But typically, a CV has to be structured to meet the job requirements. Anything that is not
Necessary.
necessary should remain there in the portfolio. That's why your portfolio help you to now organize. So when you look at all of your portfolio, you can organize your skill sets. based on all of your experiences. And when they ask for those skill sets in the interview, you can now be able to give them
Every.
every because you picked them from your portfolio and you have examples documented for each one of them. But in the CV, you will now need to narrow down and summarize to the key things that they need. So every call for your CV has requirements. We want somebody that is A, B, and C, has experience in C,
Mm.
D, and E, and have skills Z, Y, W. Just give them. They don't have time to go and do, just give them. That's the difference between a CV and a portfolio. Yes.
Okay.
Oscar.
Wow.
All right, life favor. This discussion is actually life
I don't
opening.
understand. Seems like you've written more than one. I don't like it.
No, no, just hold on, hold on. This discussion is actually eye opening and
Thank God I'm in year three.
life transforming.
We are graduates.
Yeah, I would like you to help us in two directions. First is for, let's say, if I'm a freshman in my freshman year at university and I'm just coming in as a novice per se, how would you advise me to build leadership and portfolio while I'm in the university studying? Okay, and portfolio. Secondly, let's say someone was in the university community for over 4 years. The person uh, doesn't know what it takes to do leadership and portfolio, and the person has just signed out. How will favor? Favor, what's your problem? How will you advise the person going forward to build leadership and portfolio? Let's start from there.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'll do for the freshmen,
Okay.
and I'm very happy with the work that the Vice Chancellor
Mm,
has done in the University of Calabar.
all right.
I think the students in the University of Calabar are very fortunate, I would say,
Yes, very,
in
very.
terms of student support.
Structures.
Yes, student support, systems that support students. And the last 3 years, I can't remember any orientation, freshman orientation that I missed. And in each one, the vice chancellor will emphasize, go and join the University of Calabar Youth
Friendly
Friendly
home.
Hub. Go and join the University of Calabar Youth Friendly Hub. Yes, the hub is just 3 years, but it has turned the lives of a lot of young people around. It has shaped, it has focused. Our current SUG president is from the University of
Yeah.
Calabar Youth Friendly Hub.
Mm-hmm.
She, she found a reason to take up leadership tasks from the things she learned from the University of Calabar Youth Friendly Hub. So I will tell everyone that is listening to my voice this afternoon to encourage Unica students and the freshmen that will be coming, that as soon as they come, they should try and go and sign up at the University of Calabar Youth Friendly Hub. It's located at Hall 10, the female
Female
hostel Hall
style.
10, the ground floor. It is important because the institution is structured in a way that we cannot just barge into your department, for instance, and go and start talking about the leadership and the career things that we want you to learn, because the department is structured to run by hours, by some particular courses, and the courses are not homogeneous. It's not that
Mixed up.
everybody is doing in the same department. So you will go, these people have moved to here, they have gone here, and they have gone here. So at the youth hub, We just know that our business is nurturing and guiding through the career pathway, and also help ensuring that you are healthy, you are well, you are mentally stable, and you are meeting up with your academic performance as required with your academic duties. So we help students to have that blend of what they can do and who they can become. That's where they pick up their leadership skills. You know that the university cannot do everything.
Mhm.
So we have partners who come to the University of Calabar Youth Hub and provide us with resource persons and resource materials to achieve this leadership thing. That's the beautiful thing the Vice Chancellor has done. So, for instance, UNICEF has trained our students community volunteers on what they call adolescent kits for expression and innovation. Dat kit, singular kit, for instance, teaches 10 core competencies, and leadership is one of the competence. Communication is there, goal setting is there, negotiation, building self-esteem, and a whole lot. And they have what they call circle meetings. So it's not like the classroom activity where they are teaching, you are picking. But in the circle meeting, the training is structured in a way that you yourself will discover your
Your
leadership
leadership.
within the circle.
Mm.
Because for all of the competencies I've mentioned, you are given an activity to do. For instance, when we want to teach problem solving skills and team building skills, which every leader needs, we ask you to put you in groups to do crossing the river game. And in crossing the river game, even if you have enemy there, to win the game, you people have to come together.
Yeah.
So that is what freshmen can do. Simple answer to your question. Every student should endeavour to join. As I speak to you, there are 25 volunteers being trained right now in the youth friendly hub. Shey is holiday,
Yes.
but they are undergoing a 3 days training so they can become interns for AIDS Healthcare Foundation. AIDS Healthcare Foundation is a US based organization with offices in over 58 countries. So you are already building a portfolio.
portfolio.
25 people are there building their portfolio, while other people are just so yes, freshmen, and they emphasize, give us year one passing to year two and year two passing to year
Year
three.
three.
Are you seeing? So because we hope that before you leave the University of Calabar, you are going to use this training to make your own portfolio what you want it to be. They are going to provide you the skills, provide you the resources, and the enabling environment to act positively within the University of Calabar. So freshmen, and not just freshmen, please. The second question.
Yes.
Someone like you can join the University of Calabar Youth Friendly Hub. He is in the University of Calabar Youth Friendly Hub.
And he did not share
And
us.
he-
Is that-
So if you join the University of Calabar Youth Friendly Hub, then we will size up where we need to put you.
Yeah.
And yeah, so depending on your numbers and where we have gauged you using our assessment tool, we'll now know what kind of support we are going to be providing.
All right, ma. Before I ask my next question, let me just put this to life. Life has been so stagey with the updates
It's not true.
that, okay,
It's
like,
not true.
one person in the department.
It's not true.
Have you been able to convince? Like, have you been able to share the
But
updates with?
but no, I will
It's
say,
not-
I will answer for life. So the students are very funny. You know, last year I got
Who told me to?
I got support from Press Embassy, Love World,
Yes.
Love World, the youth arm,
Mm.
to come and run a leadership program for
yeah.
University of Calabar. They came all the way from Lagos, from Pastor Chris himself. They came. They brought t-shirts.
Yes.
They had games. Students won, groups won
Yes, the group
100,000. This one
100,000.
won this money. They won. I was begging students to come and attend. They will tell you, I have lecture. However, I didn't want the hall to be empty. I'm going to submit this assignment, and then I will look under the tree. I will see plenty students. I will go to a class. I will see plenty students gisting. I have some people that were in sociology before. Students will only ask them for
For
condoms.
condoms.
And when the person asks them, come, let's go to
Let's
the
go.
house,
They
they say, "No, we
won't.
don't have time." So it's the notion we need to try to clear. Yes, I know this medium is helping us to do that. And as more people, like you have heard today, to also talk to your the head of the department, and sorry, the president of the department. So some students are so inclined to the political
Yeah.
component of leadership. Oh, I am our faculty president.
President.
I am secretary. I am this. I have used all of those mediums to try to bring students to come to the hall, and they are the worst people. They as they have achieved that position
The
like
politically
this,
inclined.
honestly, so they think
Oh.
that is the beginning and the end.
At the
But
end.
people that have access to these people need to help them to understand that even in that position, there's little you even know, because your popularity
Popularity.
is only just tested a bit.
A bit.
But when you now come to the hall and you add something, when we have students have all those positions, there's no formal training, there's no mentoring on how they can use their power.
Yeah.
And exactly why Nigeria is suffering, because a lot of us are not participating in the political space because we do not have the good knowledge, and so we allow other people who we think we usually will categorize them as the people that don't know anything. Some people will even call them touts. You will see that they are the ones taking up the space. So please, 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 it's not life. I know Life didn't know about the hub. He even happened to meet me in his mentor's office and share an office with his mentor. And he saw people, they kept coming, and he went to look for the place.
Tag me along.
See,
Okay, so but we really need students to understand that there is always time. In the hub, I used to tell people that, you see, school is not the school management or the university policy is not foolish to say class attendance is 75%.
Yeah.
Because the certificate they are giving you is in
Character
character
and learning.
and in learning. And the learning does not end in the classroom. So I used to ask them, what are you going to do with the other, how many percent is left?
That's a
25%.
25. Say you were sick for 5% that you miss. So when somebody tell me, I can't come for training because I have a class, and I say, but you have 25% window. Have you talked to your lecturer?
Some classes that do not hold.
Yes, some classes that do not hold, some that are postponed. We just need, I just need students, unique students, and students everywhere to understand that that's 25% of anything or any time they have left in school should be channeled into things that they will do to build their portfolio before they leave school. Because if they leave school, it will not be as easy as when they are in school. And again, most people will go for all the Christian fellowship
Right.
and all the religious fellowship
And all the social events.
and all the social nights, award
Dinner
night,
and award night.
dinner and award night, and all,
parties.
even if it is till daybreak.
Two
But
parties and
when
the
there
rest.
is a training, they will not go. So it's something that we need to push the younger generation coming to take.
Before now, when we talk about portfolio, somebody will be like, what's your position?
what's the
Yeah.
position?
That's the mindset.
Mhm.
See, this is now a change of mindset. Like you say, what's your portfolio? It's okay, fine. I am the faculty president. I'm the faculty secretary. Look at it from a political angle.
Angle.
Since that's what's out there. Say, okay, the commissioners or ministers, they were screened. Then
and
the
they
president,
given portfolio.
they have been given portfolio. So that's the area we look at portfolio from. But now we are now looking at portfolio as
A daily,
collection as a
yeah,
basket of your
yes.
growth and process and the whole of it.
And you
So
see why those ones will use a commissioner minister as a portfolio, because you can see it
yes,
has, it's a basket
yeah,
itself
yeah,
with a lot of so
yeah,
many things. So wherever you are, you need to define what you want to see in your portfolio. But the
Portfolio.
bottom line is, it's a lot. It's not a single thing. It
yes.
has to do with a lot of things coming together.
Okay. So I think I've enjoyed this session most, and I feel most privileged. The youngest person sitting here. So it's been an amazing time
Oh,
here. So I think for the listeners, one thing that we can go home with is portfolio is a collection of your responsibility, how responsible you are about your life, about the future you want. If you were never responsible from the beginning, I don't think you deserve anything, even when the time comes, right? So sometimes it's not even about the perfection in your articulation of what you've been able to achieve. It's more about the initiative. What were you able to think about? What are the things that you were able to step out of your space to achieve? What are the things that you were able to see when other people were not seeing? Like Mrs. Grace just said, a lot of people are in school and they have very misplaced priorities. I attended Idea First Calabar at
City
the
Church.
10th City Church, right? So I was feeling like, because I had the exams that day till 2, and I told my friends, even if I finish the exam by 4, I'll come and listen to the last speaker. I would not just sit in the house. So when I went there, I was expecting that the hall would be packed full and I would stand outside. I sat in front. Like, the front was third row, and I was amazed. How much was that event? 1.5. They were, do we have a call?
Go ahead.
So it was just like, I was like, there's a lot of problems, because people don't understand that people will not just pay you because of money. They'll pay you for the experience they can lean on. They will pay you for the solutions that you can bring. So if you're not able to spot the problems in your personal life and go for the solutions, what makes us feel that when you are in the corporate space, you'll be able to look at problems and find solutions? So this is why we should be a part of anything that allows us build portfolio and enhance our leadership journeys.
All right, thank you very much. Shiva. I knew whatever you say, you do it. You took the mic from me, and so thank you so much, everyone, for listening. That's the essence for your late show. We every Tuesday want to ensure that you learn something new, something better, something great. So before Mama Grace, leaves the studio today, I would just wanted to just say a last thing to every one of us, over 20,000 Malabite and Malabresses out there, as a word of encouragement to every one of us.
Okay, so go out there, lead and keep leading.
Thank you very much. So see you next week Tuesday, and we're so delighted to be here. Do not forget, we had Favor in the house. We had Oscar in the house. So Mama, please, I'll go. We're going to take some pictures together. So thank you so much. I'm going to see you tomorrow. See you next week. Thank you.